Hey folks, welcome to another edition of Fitness Friday Posi-TIPS with Rachelle. It's always great to be here with you on the best day of the week, Fitness Friday. Folks, I wanted to share this quick thought with you as I wrapped up the series on motivation last time. Cut that series one episode short so that I could drop in this episode here on marketing early in the year. I just wanted to challenge your thinking. I typically cover marketing in extended series during the summer, but just in this earlier on in the year, just wanted to share a few thoughts and challenging your thinking a little bit. But folks, in the Chicago Tribune, we talk about just this final thought here on motivation, fitness motivation. So on January 26th, I actually screenshotted this in the Chicago Tribune, and so they have a weekly reader poll. And so I had to read this to you because it dovetails so well on the prospect of motivation in terms of what drives or doesn't drive people. So it says, the winner of this week's reader poll to select the funniest tweet was, "It's been 6 months since I joined the gym and no progress. I'm going there in person tomorrow to see what's really going on." And that was sent in by at the Twitter handle @_cake, CAKEBAWSE. And so that was, Eric Zorn included that at the bottom of one of his articles. And so think about it. The person is talking about no progress but hasn't actually shown up to the gym yet at all. And how commonly does that happen? So you have to think about what motivates you, what doesn't motivate you. I shared some of my motivation sweet spots last time, as well as some of my motivation killers. And trust me, the motivation killers list is much longer. I'll share some more of those as we go on here, as proceeding throughout the end of the year. But folks, as I kick off this series here on marketing, you know I can't discuss marketing without bringing out the old SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So evaluating your market, evaluating what's going on in the market. What are some of the national fitness trends? I'm going to do an episode on fitness trends here in the next few weeks, so stay tuned for that. But what's going on in your market? I mean, it's so important to not always be reacting, going on defense when things happen in your market. You stay on top of these SWOT analysis, perform marketplace analyses and situational analyses. They will help you to gain and maintain a strong competitive edge. So I can't talk about marketing without bringing out the old SWOT analysis to give you a framework. And so I want to share this here with you. I'm actually going to table the whole thing and go into more detail probably later in the year when I do a formal marketing episode. But Advertising Age, or Ad Age, produces this marketing fact pack. And so this is the one for 2020 that came out late last year. I've been saving it. And so, like I said, don't have time to go into all of this, but it talks about marketing spending, marketing channels, what avenues, where's the spending shift that's happening, and all of that. So we'll spend some more time on that later in the year. Save this for you, I promise. But just wanted to share a couple of highlights here. And so it says the big list. And so we talk about the big guys. Who are the big guys in marketing? At the end of last year, from another issue of Advertising Age, Procter & Gamble was the marketer of the year. And they've just for years and years and years and years and years, they are always among the top companies when it comes to marketing. So number one, they are also on this particular list here, the big list. Procter & Gamble, world's biggest advertiser, at an annual spend of $10.1 billion. And so Comcast Corporation is the nation's biggest advertiser. When you think about all the Xfinity, I'm thinking about, are there really that many Xfinity commercials and all of that? But see, I don't watch a whole lot of TV. And so $6.1 billion was their spend. So you can see what folks are spending. But I wanted to also share this. This was a big one. Don't have the time. I mean, this booklet is full of graphs. And don't have time to get into all of that, but just wanted to highlight a couple of things here. So Zenith 2020's U.S. Media and Marketing Services spending forecast. So for 2020, $509 billion. Estimated U.S. spending in media and marketing services. So in terms of media, something I wanted to highlight. Back in the day, all about 50 years ago, it was all about broadcast, TV, the radio, and all of that. So those were the big guys then. And there's truly been a big shift towards internet and online advertising and marketing efforts. So what we see here, internet in terms of media spend is actually number one. So for 2020, that projected spend for internet advertising across all industries and sectors, $135.1 billion. versus 120.2 billion in 2019, and in 2018 it was 104.1 billion. So you can see that rapid growth of the internet sector. So you think about where are you allocating your money, where are your marketing dollars going. That is so important to recognize what exactly is happening here. And so in terms of marketing services, they've got another chart here right under that one that says in terms of the actual services, it goes by different ones: sales, promotion, telemarketing, direct mail, event sponsorship, directories, and public relations. So sales promotion actually leads the list for 2020 spend of 86.7 billion, 85.2 billion for 2019, and 82.7 billion in 2018. And so you compare that with telemarketing at 61.4 for 2020, 60.8 billion for 2019, and 59.6 billion for 2018. So you see modest growth there in terms of telemarketing and direct mail. 47.4 billion for 2020, 46.3 billion for 2019, 47.7 billion for 2018. So we also have event sponsorship, directories, and public relations. But I will come back to this later on in the year. Worldwide media spending forecast by Group M, their 2020 forecast. That is, internet is showing, again, that was just sharing, national versus now international, 326.3 billion for 2020, 293.7 billion for 2019, 255.4 billion for 2018. So it's not just in the U.S. We see an aggressive shift away from your more traditional types of advertising and marketing channels to and towards online. Doesn't matter where in the world you are, we see this shift happening. And so I'm going to share some offline or some actual print marketing collaterals here, and then shift on to some online examples as well. I always like to kick off with the non-fitness oriented examples. Don't have very many for you here today in the interest of time. But it's always thinking about what are companies doing. We know that Walmart's always included among the list of, it's included in the 2020 list among the world's top advertisers. And so, something that they did last year that I saw was that they had holiday gift giving made easy. And so they've got this announcement here that says, get the app. Check in on your way to the store. Your order will be ready, making pickup even faster. Your personal shopper, Cynthia. So I'd order something and picked it up in the store. But, so think about this. So in lieu of people, we know that they have for those of you who are Walmart shoppers, they keep the gift certificates right there by the cash register. So you can grab one and load money to it. But this was actually something that was unique where they were handing these out. The power of suggestive selling. Hey, you picked up an order, why don't you just go ahead and load some money on this card, and you've already got your gift certificate right there, your gift card to give right there to whoever the person is. So this was something unique that Walmart did. So it's all about evaluating. What are you doing? What's working? Are you trying anything new? Have you been doing the same thing for the last 15 years? It's all about being open to change, and that is so important. And another big one, folks, that I was just had to highlight. You see, folks, you have no idea what I go through to bring you these episodes. Saving all this stuff, going grocery shopping, saving bags. But I just had to save this one for you. For Kroger, for those who may not have noticed, and literally the summer of 2018 when I did that extended marketing series, talked about how Kroger did a rebrand then. So we go to summer of 2018. They went to this cost-oriented positioning where it was Kroger, say hello to lower prices, which was an interesting positioning because you're going head-to-head from a grocery standpoint. Walmart's always going to be a huge player, and it is extremely tough to go head-to-head against Walmart on price, because, it's just, much has been written about the Walmart story and all of that in terms of their pricing and how they're able to make that work. And so they have the ADLP, or the everyday low pricing strategy. So Kroger went this pricing route in 2018, but as I noticed in 2019, I noticed this in December of last year. Not a big Kroger shopper, so it probably happened well before then, but they changed their positioning to fresh for everyone. So away from the cost to fresh for everyone, which personally I think that's actually a better positioning, particularly around their produce, because that's where you will find me in Kroger's is when I'm buying produce and things like that. So they've got this on their receipts as well, fresh for everyone. So went away from cost to quality around this freshness. So this is one of their newer grocery bags. We can also see too, when you look at their Kroger, how they've gone back with this retro print here in terms of, their, looks like it could have been maybe from the 60s, 70s. So a retro block type of logo there that had been updated. So that was Kroger, folks. Just had to saving that to share that with you. Better Health Marketing Cafe, not a Better Health shopper, just to put that out there. But I have been there a couple of times because they do health-oriented seminars at our location here in Novi. We have a few here in the Metro Detroit area, and so they do some good things there. But I just saved this because we talk about, and this was a direct mail piece. And so it came in last fall, came to my house last fall. But I just thought this, when you talk about getting attention, particularly with direct mail, where you're competing with all of these other things that come in the mail, and so it's all about getting attention, and that's why direct mail has one of the lowest response rates, because you're clamoring for people's attention because there's so much clutter. But this one was good because it was a standalone piece. But look at this, our turkeys don't do drugs. So this was around the Thanksgiving time frame, and that was so cool. You talk about steroids and antibiotics and all of these type of things that were going on. It just says our birds are the word about town, free from antibiotics or growth hormones. They're as drug-free as they are flavorful. Plus, they're humanely raised. Choose from 4 different varieties, including organic options. Better reserve yours now. Quantities are limited. All right, so cool way to differentiate themselves from the traditional turkeys that are sold at some of your grocery stores and mass market retailers. And so also I'd say this one, Art Van, I told you, we have this battle that has just been ongoing and just nonstop between some of our mattress and furniture leaders, Art Van, Gardner White. Now we have a newer one, Bob's Discount Furniture. And so this one, they are constantly mailing things, constantly. You could tell direct mail is at the heart of their marketing strategy. They do a lot of TV as well as some of the other types of, utilizing other marketing channels. So this was for the Novi store only. You can see, they just, the discount positioning, no matter what comes in the mail, no matter what they're advertising, something is always on sale. Something is always on sale. There's always a discount. Here you had a tie-in with the Detroit Pistons, enter to win. 2 club seat tickets, VIP, and a parking pass. Free Insignia 50-inch HD TV or Apple AirPods. So always discount positioning. They had some examples on the back. And so that's always the challenge with, and I've talked about this on a pricing episode that was 2018 or 2019 on a marketing series. Once you go the discount route, it is tough to reverse course. And it's so profound because I remember even just at Northwestern, I remember professors saying that promotional strategy, particularly around pricing and discounting, it trains customers. And it trains customers to expect to never pay full price for your service or your product. So that is, and it is so true. You can see it across different industries, where you just wonder if they would ever send out something where everything on it was regular price and they weren't giving stuff away and all of that. So it's just very tough because once you go down that route, it's very, very difficult to come back. And so when we think about, let me pull out my SWOT analysis here real quick again. So we think about the SWOT analysis and how it's so important to evaluate what's going on externally, what's going on in the market, what are some of the threats that are going on in your existing market. And I want to highlight some examples here. Woohoo! Got a few. Got some fitness-oriented examples here. Folks, I told you I had a stack of stuff. I have to keep it all straight here. So in terms of threat, you may be thinking, okay, well, yeah, I've done my SWOT analyses. My manager, my management team, my marketing person, my marketing firm, they're on top of it, Rachelle. Fantastic. But it's so important not just to consider other fitness facilities or studios or entities in terms of physical brick and mortar type locations. It's so important to, again, this huge shift that we're seeing towards online fitness training, all of that. We got the Peloton bikes, we got Nordic track, have you seen the Total Gym commercials? Those infomercials. I actually sat through about 10 minutes of one the other day. I mean, there's just so much. So it's always important to consider the totality of the market, not what's existing within your geographical area. Yes, that is so important, but this online is so important because what that is doing is just causing people to bypass, knowing that a common complaint of people of why they don't join gyms and studios is I feel uncomfortable, I feel this, I feel that, whatever, I'm out of shape, I want to work out at home, it's easier, I don't have a lot of time. And that's actually the Total Gym, they highlight that. That's a selling point for them. Is that, a lot of people claim the number one reason they don't work out is because they don't have the time. Well, now you can get this machine and work out at home. And so Sam's Club, I actually remember Sam's Club. And so this was their December 26, 2019 through January 26, 2020, little booklet here, sales booklet. And so what are they advertising? Like most folks, most mass market retailers at the beginning of the year. So they too had a treadmill for $500 off. And you can see here on this side, they've got the Stamina X AM RAP rowing machine for $150 off. So instead of $699, it was $549. And this treadmill here, regular price $12.98, instant savings $500 now $7.98. So when they're running specials like that, it can be very compelling for people that are considering a gym membership, a fitness facility, any type of fitness facility or studio membership to say, well, you know what? Let me try this route. I can work out at home and let me see how that goes. And so it's so important to evaluate the totality of what is going on from a competitive landscape standpoint. All right, so I'm going to move on in here to some more fitness examples. I received this one at home. So this is from Club Pilates here in Novi. They started, I received, this is the second piece, direct mail piece I received from them in the last probably 6 months. But they highlight all of our Metro Detroit locations. And so it says here, it was interesting the way it was addressed to me, fitness friend. It had my address there on the bottom. But 0 enrollment, get started today with 0 down. And again, very compelling. Some of your larger gym chains running that 0 enrollment. Club Pilates does the same thing. And what is their tagline? It comes from the core. It comes from Club Pilates. And so very interesting experience, Club Pilates with a free intro class. Again, getting people in there, sales promotion, 0 enrollment, free class to get people in there, to encourage people to take action. It's all about sales promotion. So that can be a very effective tactic, particularly when it comes to direct mail, to stimulate interest and get people moving in the right direction. So I actually have 3 of these. A couple of these were from late last year for Powerhouse. And so they've been highlighting, so yeah, this is the after Thanksgiving sale. So see that, $1 down or $1 to join, biggest savings of the year. And so they highlight all of their amenities on there. So you can see this is a smaller piece. And then they went back subsequently back to their larger, this is their typical piece size. So see, once again, $1 to join. So many folks are going that route. So if competitive landscape, if you're offering $29 down, you got to understand your competitors in your market are getting very aggressive in terms of where they are and what they're offering in terms of joining. You can see they've expanded their pictures here that you can see, the group fitness classes. This is a shot up of the gym. But certainly a newer edition of last year, once that remodel was complete, is they've got the hydro massage beds. So for the competitors in the area, and this is true across, you have some Anytime Fitness locations with hydro massage chairs and beds. So what may be a huge competitive advantage one day can turn out your competitors can be all over that, and that competitive advantage can be neutralized when your competitor or competitors do the same thing, purchase their own piece of equipment, similar equipment, offer the same types of classes and all of that. And so this was one that came obviously for the new year, your resolution solution in 2020. So it was enrolled today for just 2020, and it shows their savings of over $300. So once again, the piece there, the action shot with the group fitness class, showing those same pictures here. Join now and receive 1 month. So sales promotion, what are they offering? Join now and receive 1 month of semi-private training, guest privileges, towel service, hydro massage, tanning, and more. Okay, bring this in here. Bring this in and receive a complimentary guest pass for you and a friend. All right, so they're shaking things up there in terms of their marketing. It's always good to see, I'm pro fitness, so I'm always going to be excited regardless of where and what it is. whether it's my own personal gym and past facility or not. And so this was one that was on the back of some of the mail that came to my house. Retail Me Not was included in a stack, but this is actually the back page of it. And so you see, this is older. So this deal ended Thursday, January 9th. Join for only 20 cents down, $10 a month, no commitment. So this is Planet Fitness, has some action shots there, tons of equipment, free fitness training, 30-minute circuit, 1,800 plus locations, and it actually has locations here: Commerce Township, my location, the Milford location, Beck Road in Novi, 235 East Main Street, and Northville. And so also highlights the Detroit official fitness partner of the Detroit Red Wings, as well as official gym of the Detroit Pistons. So you got your open 24 hours and all of that for these locations. But it's also interesting to note some collaboration going on, I noticed here, because these are two different franchise groups, and so they're highlighting their shared location here, which is always good to see. And so when we come back to Planet Fitness, we come back to the online here, but wanted to show that print collateral piece that came to my house as well. So we have custom health centers. So this was included in one of the save-ons that you may or may not get them, but this was for January, February 2020. There's a boatload of all types of coupons across all types of businesses and industries inside. So this one had custom health centers, doctor supervised, all natural, customized weight loss plans. So this was a newer one I hadn't seen. Each plan includes weight loss guarantees, one-on-one health coaching, individualized support, all natural supplements, exclusive online community. So what is their sales promotion? And they're highlighting their 4 locations here across Metro Detroit. Additional $200 off sales prices. Also free health coach session. And this one actually shows here some of the before and after weight loss results. And so you'll notice that tends to be very, very popular in terms of whether it's bariatric surgery, advertisements, or like Nutrisystem, these types of like health plans, and specifically weight loss oriented types of facilities or services. They do a lot in terms of showing the actual before and after, which works for them. And so this was included in the Women's Health magazine. Save this one. This was from, what month is this? 2020. So January, February 2020. And so this shows introducing you. I got this email several months ago and highlighted it on a Fitness Friday, but this is the print piece to all of that. Introducing All Out Studio, the official home of women's health on-demand workouts, proven programs, real results. Access training programs for every fitness goal on your TV, phone, or tablet. Download today on Apple TV, the App Store, as well as Google Play. And so once again, on demand, a very big threat to traditional brick and mortar type of facilities, because they're giving people the opportunity to work out right in the comfort of their own homes. So always got to pay attention to what's going on offline in terms of brick and mortar as well as online, as I've stated before. So the Novi Engage magazine. So this comes to all Novi residents, typically 3 or 4 times a year. And so this one I included. This one is from, it's here on the side, November, December 2019. Had a advertisement here by Christina, a certified personal trainer. And so she was the only one in here in terms of, certified personal training. So it's always good to see, again, competitive advantage, strengths, what's going on in the market. So her strength is obviously, she's got a budget for marketing in order to be able to do these things. But her sales promotion, what's going to drive interest and encourage people to take action, the sales promotion tactic, 20% off your first package. And so she's got her services there. And the subsequent month, so to kick off the new year, she's back in the next episode as well. This New Year kickoff edition. So personal training, in home or on site. All right. So think about that from a competitive standpoint. You have someone that is able to offer personal training. So she saw an opportunity. Yes, there's gyms all over the place. Yes, you can work out with a trainer one-on-one. Yes, you can go to group fitness classes. That's wonderful. But this whole notion of people don't have a lot of time to work out, or people feel embarrassed or don't feel right about going to any type of fitness facility, she saw an opportunity there and said, in addition to going to fitness facilities to train people, I can also go to their homes, which is a very, very big, tremendous Very, very big competitive advantage. So, but for trainers who are only based inside of facilities, you got to recognize what a threat that is. Trainers that are able to go to people's homes, as well as the on-demand training, where you've got apps, you've got all types of on-demand resources now to help people train. But she's back in here again, and so that was important to note. And also wanted to highlight, I have another green sticky here, and so Novi has healthy active, so they spent a whole section here on fitness. And so to kick off the new year, highlighted some of the City of Novi recreation classes that are offered. You'll see these are very common, maybe not necessarily in this glossy full color format that we have here in Novi, but many municipalities across the nation have fitness classes, exercise classes that they offer, and so those are advertised. And I wanted to also too share this with you, and that is, and I've got to share this on this episode because I've got to fill it out and mail it back. So you've heard me mention a few months ago that Novi is in the committee and engaging interest phase of opening a new fitness facility / community center. And so I received two of these in the month of January. So there's a follow-up one, like, hey, just want to make sure you get this. So I've got to mail this in, but I was saving this for the marketing episode. I'm going to mail one of these in. But it's so important because I was just talking about how municipalities do things. And so if this goes through, it's hard to say. Let me just digress here for a second here. But this is market research. This was a survey that came to my house, 2 of them. And so if this goes through, this whole Novi Community Center / fitness center, recreation center has gone before the voters here before and failed. It was before I moved to Novi, so it's been a long time. So now there's getting a second wind of seeing if there's interest in moving forward, because there has been an expressed interest in moving forward with this again. And so they are doing market research now, and they sent out these. And so it was so cool that they sent the second one. Here's a second chance. If you haven't already responded to this survey, they have contracted with an external market research firm, which is always wonderful because, again, your biases. You have your best friend who's a market researcher do your market research. Yeah, that may work, but there's just going to be some inherent biases because that particular best friend of yours may not want to tell you things or report things that you don't want to hear. And so it's just always good if you can to just find a good, solid external source. And so they contracted with National Research Center Incorporated out of Boulder, Colorado. So, but I just wanted to, and you see this note here that comes as part of it, Mayor Gatt. And so I just want to quickly read through these questions again. Market research, determining, is there really an opportunity? Is this an opportunity for a community fitness recreation center here in Novi? And from a threat standpoint, heard me talk about this in other episodes. Here, particularly in Novi, we have a mature fitness market. Yeah, it's a suburb, but it's a very mature fitness market, highly saturated market. And so the prospect of opening up a new one is going to be controversial, particularly as far as voters are concerned. And that's why, I'm sure even though I didn't live here, that's why it failed the first time. And so I wanted to just read a few of these questions here so you can understand in terms of if you're doing market research and you're trying to inquire, is there interest in a new class? Is there interest in a new facility? Is there interest in something that your facility or facilities don't offer? You know, you say you study some of the fitness trends and you recognize, okay, maybe there's an opportunity for me to offer on-demand type of programs. Okay, and you're doing your research to gain interest in that. So it's so important to really approach market research and member surveys and potential member surveys, in this case resident or citizen surveys, with true seriousness, because it can truly send you in the wrong direction or the right direction. So question number one, which, if any, of the following indoor recreation facilities do you or members of your household currently utilize? And so it asks the Novi Civic Center, which are those classes I just mentioned, privately operated exercise facilities, privately operated aquatic facilities, pools, none. Then it also asks school facilities, home gym, or other. Number two, would you like the City of Novi to build a new public recreation center? Yes or no? Number three, if a new recreation center was built, what would you like to see included in the building? And so this is it has 4 dimensions in terms of how you rate it. Number 1, essential for me. Number 2, nice to have. Number 3, don't care. Number 4, don't want. So some of these questions within that question are, Indoor leisure warm water pool, again, essential for me, nice to have, don't care, don't want. Splash pool, spray pad, same ratings. Competition lap swimming pool, same ratings. Exercise open floor area, weight cardio machines, walking track, hardcore surface, basketball, volleyball, pickleball, etc., and other, where the person is able to fill in the blank. And then number 4, it says, how much would you support or oppose each of the following? See, this is where the controversy enters. An increase, so again, the rating parameters are 1 through 4, and then there's also number 5 option, don't know. So number 1 is strongly support, and number 4 is strongly oppose, and the 5th one is don't know. So it says, an increase in property taxes to pay for the construction, and construction's in bold, of a new recreation center. So number 1, do you strongly support? Number 2, do you somewhat support? Number 3, do you somewhat oppose? Number 4, do you strongly oppose? Or the number 5, you don't know. Or number 2 on that, or a subpart of that question, an increase in property taxes to pay for the maintenance and operation of a new recreation center. So the same 1 through 5 rating, charging dues, membership fees to pay for the maintenance and operations of a new recreation center, 1 through 5. And then these final questions 5 through 10 are demographic questions, your age range, do you own or rent, what's your gender, and all of that. So important to do research to evaluate, is there truly a need for the product or service, or in this case, facility that could potentially be open this time. I mean, I definitely have some thoughts on this, and I'm going to be sharing, of course, as the committees, if they move forward with this, I'm going to be showing up, but I'm pro-fitness. I'm all in favor of this. I always like to just put that out there. There's no question of where I stand on this. I'm very supportive of this. If we have to have an increase in property taxes to pay for the construction, I'm absolutely in support of that. I'm absolutely in support of an increase in property taxes to pay for the maintenance of a recreation center. I'm open either way to charging membership fees and dues, because that's what most facilities do. And so I'm just open. I'm very supportive of this. But there's one caveat, and that's where the controversy that comes around this type of things, and that's where, if it were a major chain coming and saying, oh, we'd like to open a Novi, they would be all over it. I mean, with all due respect, the city council would be all over it. Andrew Much, who's a member of our Novi City Council, I remember seeing a comment he wrote on the Nextdoor app sometime last year, where he said the city of Novi, amongst all of the suburbs here in Oakland County and Southeast Michigan, we have the 3rd largest tax base. That surprised me when I saw that. But with just all the building and the construction, it really doesn't surprise me. But it's controversial when it's not a franchisee or a private gym owner saying, hey, we're going to fit the bill, we're going to make this happen, sink or swim, this is what it is, versus taxpayers having to fund or support something like that. And as I mentioned, this has failed in the past. And I personally have been a member of 2 community-oriented fitness type of facilities, being number 1 when I lived in Minnetonka, suburban Minneapolis, Minnesota, as well as Dearborn, was a member of that Ford Community Center for a long time. And so it's always controversial when you're talking about raising people's taxes and all of that. And something I'm going to point out, particularly to those on the committee, I want them to understand, is that you have to understand, in this country, I've cited the statistic before. This is just an example of my own suburb. This happens all across the nation. I mean, just when you're talking about municipalities. So we have cited this statistic many times over the years. So the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control, states that in this country, 2/3 of American adults are either overweight or obese. And that same statistic for children is 1/3. And so one thing we have to understand is that there is a general overall, for the most part, apathy towards fitness in this country. And so that's where some of the controversy is going to come in. So you expect, and Novi is no different than any other place. You expect, when there's a general level, just 2/3, there's just a very controversial type of area. But when you have just a general overall lack of exercise, lack of fitness, lack of commitment to health and wellness, it's going to be controversial. It's going to be controversial because you want people that don't care to pay for, and to care and then to pay for it. And that's where the controversy lies. And I can clearly see the delineation between if this were a franchise or a private facility, first that was self-funded or funded by a franchise or a corporate chain, whatever the case may be, versus taxpayers. So you're expecting a large number of taxpayers that do not engage in any fitness activities to care and to foot the bill. And it's a very, very tough call, very, very tough charge in order to make something like that happen. So that's my only thing, is my thinking out loud is, for this to proceed forward, there needs to be a greater emphasis on community. This is a place for families. We're going to have a lot of cultural events. This is a very multicultural suburb. We have a lot of multicultural events. And the fitness, yes, that's going to be there, but that does not need to be the lead positioning in terms of this, whether it's proposal or potential development, whatever the case may be, because it is going to fail again. Because you have general apathy, a lot of apathy towards the fitness, and people are not going to see a need for a new fitness facility when they don't work out themselves or they don't have commitment. You see the interest, the motivation level? Yeah, you're going to have people like me, I don't care what. You raise the taxes, do whatever you have to do, make this thing happen. Because this will be a wonderful thing, and community centers are wonderful. Community type recreation centers are wonderful, because commercial facilities and even some private facilities are not for everyone. So you always want to give people an option. You want to give people a choice. And so those are my thoughts on that. But I just wanted to share a little of controversy. So whenever you're talking about taxpayer dollars, it's going to be some controversy, particularly around something that people don't perceive is something that they want. Now we have a new Chick-fil-A that's in the process of being built. People are so excited about that. Now I haven't been to a Chick-fil-A since I was a little girl down south. I'm a Popeye's fried chicken type of girl, but you know that, I'm Louisiana roots. But people are all over that. People can't wait. There's going to be lines. I mean, the traffic is going to just continue to increase, particularly in that area, that main thoroughfare. But why? Oh yeah, we want some Chick-fil-A, but a new fitness or a new community center that's heavily fitness oriented? Nah, I don't see a use for that. So when we think about for motivation, what motivates people, we got to think about even for something like this. I want to challenge those kind of leading forward with that as a resident, but also as one that is seasoned in speaking on these type of issues. If people don't see a use, if they're not motivated, it's not going to be successful. So folks, I wanted to shift gears here as I have the second part of this episode, looking at some of the online type of advertising that happens and all of that. So what we see here, and this is actually one that I screenshotted. So this was last week. So this is February 4th, and I screenshotted this one. So this was a Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness, 25 cents down, $10 a month, no commitment, deal ends February 13th. And so what I wanted to do, just in the spirit of, you've heard me talk about this, we had the situation with Planet Fitness here locally. All right, so and Edge Fitness is expanding, Crunch Fitness is both expanding, but those three are the national low-cost chains, the most prominent at this point, low-cost chains. And so we have Planet had that special in the beginning of the year. They had the 20 cents down special in the month of January. But we think about, again, from a competitive standpoint, now you've got two other chains in the area, being Crunch Fitness and Edge Fitness, who are also have that base fitness price, where Crunch Fitness is $9.95 a month and Edge Fitness is $9.99 a month, and then Planet being $10 a month. And so something that Edge ran for the month of January, again, to counter what Planet was doing with that 20 cent down offer, Edge for several weeks now has been running 0 enrollment and first month free. And they've also been running, I have a number of ads. This was their Super Bowl, the Super Bowl promotion that they ran. So see, $9.99, 0 enrollment, and $9.99 a month. And so, and then they list all of the different amenities, and then join today and all of that now. So think about that. So 1 minute, and this is true in any market, you could have the price advantage, and that's why price is always difficult, and just in terms of pricing. Because people can come down with a lower price. People can open up down the street with a lower price. And so that just puts defensive pressure on a market in a situation. And so that's Edge Fitness. Something I also wanted to, because you recall that I studied Crunch for a while now, but I finished that last fall. So studied them for about a good 2.5 years. Crunch taught me a lot. Never was a member of Crunch. but certainly learned a lot from the launch of that franchise in this particular market. And so it was so important, I think, for Crunch to open up, and that's the beauty of studying different entities, whether it's inside the fitness industry for me or outside of the fitness industry. Because one thing I've noticed since the last fall when I stopped studying them is that they went from 4 membership levels, with that base membership being $9.95. They've now trimmed that down to 3, which personally I think is a better idea, because they had the 4 levels of contract options and the 4 levels of non-contract options, and there was just a lot of opportunities for confusion. So now they have gone for the base being $9.95 to peak $21.95, which competes with the black black card membership of Planet Fitness. And then they've got the peak results for $29.95. So when they had the 4 levels, $9.95 was the base, and then this was at the Westland location, right there at pre-sale, because that's where I started studying them at pre-sale. So their 4-tier membership was $49.95, and they brought it down to $39.95. And so it's just interesting to see the evolution. The evolution of these newer Crunch has been around a long time, since I want to say 1989, and so they are evaluating what's working, what's not working, what can we tweak, because they're on a national expansion now. It looks like they have 306 locations here nationally, as you're talking about what's going on there with Crunch. But something new that they tweaked too is that their base membership, they have added a couple of different things here, being the online nutrition. So again, the online support is now an option for the base membership, as well as use of the sauna. A lot of people like those saunas. And so again, from a competitive standpoint, if you're one of their low-cost competitors, you got to recognize that Crunch is now offering use of their sauna, which used to be reserved for that second tier and above. So things are always changing. Things are always changing in the fitness industry. So it's so important to know what's going on in your market, what's going on. So of course, and we can do this whole thing from a fitness marketing standpoint, and we're going to talk about that in fitness trends. For a very long time, Planet has led the charge in terms of their marketing spend, and in just truly having a leadership role in the fitness industry in that regard, doing a lot of heavy lifting from a marketing and advertising standpoint, pun intended, because quite frankly, a lot of other entities, particularly your private studios and private gyms, just cannot afford, just don't have those type of marketing and advertising budgets. And rest assured, their marketing is powerful. It's out there. It's very visible. Their brand recall is the highest in the fitness industry in terms of actual facilities. So there's very, very effective marketing that a whole lot of other entities can't afford to do. So what I consider, and I'm always telling people, don't hate on Planet, from a marketing standpoint, for others who can have all of the TV ads, the online ads, the billboards, and all of that that they have. Like, don't hate on them. What they're really doing, which I perceive to be, that's just leadership in terms of other folks can't afford to do all that. What they're doing is increasing the level overall of fitness and fitness facilities and potential to exercise. All right, so Planet Fitness, yes, it's obviously very brand driven, yes, but also just the overall knowledge of fitness, the awareness of fitness, the potential to work out and exercise. I think they're bringing that, and they've brought that to a level that, particularly in the fitness industry, has just been unprecedented. So I think that's a good thing, because if you're Planet, yes, it's very brand driven marketing efforts and activities, but also for the smaller guys, for all the Davids that are out there that can afford to advertise. Because what can happen, and what often sometimes does happen, is someone may decide, okay, I saw a Planet commercial on TV. I don't know if that's going to work for me, because I want to go to Zumba class, so I'm going to join this gym, or I'm going to do so. See, in terms of driving, yes, incremental volume in terms of their own facilities, absolutely, but also in terms of other facilities. So I tell people, don't hate on Planet like that. In my opinion, in a way, they are doing a public service in terms of the amount of marketing advertising that they do, because they're getting people is the awareness of fitness, health, and exercise, and on people's minds that perhaps wouldn't have otherwise been, because a lot of these places do not have those marketing budgets. And of course, to be fair, the franchisees are paying. I mean, they're contributing to that marketing fund, that national fund. So they are definitely getting their money's worth. But I think they are really, really doing a heavy lifting from a marketing standpoint in the fitness industry. And their ads are ubiquitous. They do a lot. And so I wanted to show you a couple of things. So this was an email that I got from Planet on January 27, 2020 at 2:40. So it says, Biggest Loser and Planet Fitness are back tomorrow night. So January 28, Tuesdays on the USA Network. So it's things like that. Sponsoring programs, being a partner with programs, and now they're actually highlighting one of Erica Lugo, which is a member and one of the trainers going to be on the new show. So that's a really good tie-in, particularly to build loyalty among current members who may watch that and say, well, yeah, she's one of us, she's a member. That was a very, very good thing to do. Very, very, very smart move. But so they're sponsoring, just all types of things. They're marketing, do a lot with their marketing, but see, that just helps because people may watch that and say, they may be in an area where there's no Planet and they can watch that show and say, well, you know what? Maybe I'm going to start walking, or, maybe I can just try to do a little something. So I just think the awareness is huge. It's huge. It's huge. Another online, which you also see in terms of, just email marketing and what comes through, introducing the TRX Rocker. So they have these are, you can obviously buy these on your own or order them for gyms. But what you can see there for online is that they've got the flash component where you can see the actual rocker in motion. So see rock, you can see it. Recognize I don't have the screen behind me, but so it says rock, don't roll, and it just has the benefits of rocking. 3 intensity zones. So it's all there. So that's just an example of a manufacturer, TRX, bringing their product there. The advertising, Anytime Fitness, that's, I always tell people, that's the sleeping giant of the fitness industry. Anytime Fitness was running for the month of January. They ran a join for $1 down special. So this is the one that came from Novi, and so they had a before and after. I think that was cute. Patrick and Brittany May are the owners. They took over from the Michaels in 2012. I actually went to the grand opening of that location, but they're making things happen. But that $1 down was effective until January 31st. And what they included with that was 1 hour session with a coach, in-body scan, functional movement screening, workout plan, professional advice, nutritional recommendations, and monthly follow-ups. So very, very compelling offer in terms of sales promotion. What are you offering in addition to that? In addition to the $1 down, what other value-added services can you bring on? And it looks like Anytime was really, really bringing it. And so I wanted to show you, here it is. We'll save this throughout the Christmas season. And I speak very highly of Sarah, who's the manager. Her parents own 3 Anytime Fitness locations in Michigan, closer to the Flint area, which is the location, the Davidson, Michigan location is the one I went to back in early 2017. I was in the area and just stopped in for a tour. Lapeer, which is another city in Michigan, Imlay City. So her parents own these 3, and Sarah just never ceases to amaze me. And I've talked about her several times over the years, but just incredibly strong. Just from a leadership standpoint, and succession planning, where her parents, you got a daughter who is passionate about fitness, who goes to different industry type of events and activities and travels and studies the competition. She is all over. You think about management, it is just so impressive to see that. Just the challenges sometimes in family-owned businesses, she definitely, that can happen. She definitely defies the odds on that. So got an email from Michigan, Anytime Fitness, so the Davidson location, but it was the offer was effective for all 3. So I saved this because she never ceases to amaze me in terms of her ability to evaluate, do SWOT analyses types of activities to evaluate what's going on in the marketing, what she can do to drive some competitive, some incremental growth and volume for her parents' gyms there. So it says, Merry Christmas. Let's give the gift of health this holiday season. Option 1, purchase 12 months gift certificate, receive 3 months free. Option 2, purchase 6 months gift certificate, receive 2 months free. Option 3, purchase 3 months gift certificate and receive 1 month free. Option 4, purchase 1 month of tanning, get 1 month free. And so when I saw this, it made me smile. And so it said, the offer had been extended a couple times, and it was extended to 12/23/2019. And so it says the disclaimer: must purchase a gift certificate in order to receive these offers with an expiration date of 8 months from the date of purchase. So give the gift of health. Give someone, friend, family, stranger, whomever, a fitness membership to Anytime Fitness. And one thing it's important to know with this particular chain is they've got contracts. So you can get, she runs a campaign like this and gets 20 new members. I mean, that is wonderful because you look at some of their, this is not investment advice, but I've studied Anytime Fitness for a long time, and I've interviewed a couple of Anytime Fitness owners and managers over the years when I was at Powerhouse. And so that model is very simple. 2015, 2016, they were the #1 global franchise for Entrepreneur Magazine. Just a wonderful growth internationally. But very simple business model, but they rely on contracts. I've seen 12-month contracts, I've seen 18-month contracts there, I've seen 24-month contracts, I've seen 36-month contracts there, but see contracts, so you're locking members in. So their average square footage is what? About 5,000 square feet. Average membership, 800 to about 850 per club. So see, their overall membership needs are not extreme. They don't need thousands of members in order to be solvent or anything like that. Just so any campaign that they run to get lock-in members and contracts, it works really well for them. So, but what really made me smile about this is that one thing you've noticed is I've covered different marketing episodes over the years and promotional efforts as we talk about the fitness industry and fitness facilities in particular. What we see here is opportunities and threats. All right, we have many different entities that are now offering get a month free. I mean, I've read a number of those. I've read one of these here today. Sign up, we'll give you a month free. So that is slowly but surely becoming a standard where you sign up on the commercial type of entities, get a month free. So the national commercial chains is what I'm talking about. So what she's saying, if you buy a 12-month gift certificate, so if essentially you buy 1 year membership, you sign up for 1 year membership, get this, or get a membership for someone for 1 year, you get 3 months free. And so it was just cool that she had 3 different options in terms of the amount of time someone wanted to buy a gift certificate for. Because yes, purchase 3 months of gift certificate and get a month free. But just recognize that giving someone a month free is becoming common. And so it's important from a competitive advantage standpoint. If you want to come in, what can you offer that's going to be stronger than 1 month? Okay, I just read the list that the Anytime Fitness and Novi was giving in addition to the $1 down for the month of January. And that was a franchise-wide promotion, by the way. Anywhere in the country, they were running that $1 down. So it's always important to evaluate what's going on in your market. What are your competitors doing nationally? I mean, within your specific market, private gyms, commercial gyms, municipal gyms. I mean, it's so important to know what exactly is going on. But this one right here, Sarah, she's always all over it. She knows exactly what's going on and recognizing that given a month, that's a wonderful thing. But if somebody's wants to get someone a 1 year gift certificate worth, 1 year membership equals to 1 year membership, let's give them 3 months free. What can you do that will beat your competition? What more compelling offer can you have? So I thought that was so cool. And she's brought in a trainer named Kyle Rasmussen. Now, he wasn't there when I was there. And Kyle sends out emails, and you can tell, very sales copywriting driven. They're highly persuasive. And I thought to myself, and he has his own, very big profile. Kyle Rasmussen, I Googled him and it said it doesn't surprise me that she brought him on board. But it says, just for example, December 26, 2019 at 10:14 a.m. Good morning, Rachelle. I hope you're having a wonderful week and enjoying some downtime with your family and friends. As we get ready for 2020, I wanted to share something that will help you create a game-changing year. It's so simple and it always works. Have you ever noticed how successful people all have one basic thing in common? They take small, consistent action towards their goals and they don't stop. It's like the girl who decides she wants to play basketball and sets a goal to make a specific number of shots a day, every day, no matter what. Random fact, many NBA players aim for 500 plus shots a day. or the student who goes to the library every night for 90 minutes a day. So it's a whole, I won't read through it, but it's a whole email of that. But he does a wonderful job. Again, when you talk about just his own personal strengths as a trainer, Kyle Rasmussen, the strength is he's coming at this not just saying I'm offering this % off or I'm doing this and I'm doing that. No, it was very competitive, building the case of why, of building of interest. Again, go back to the AIDA model that I discussed last year in the marketing series. AIDA, awareness, interest, desire, and action. That model that takes people from hearing about something or being aware to all of a sudden, in this particular case, being aware of the need for fitness, all the way to I'm calling Kyle and I'm signing up for training with him. So just so cool. It was just so cool to see that. So it's always important to know what's going on in your market. Stay tuned and trust me, folks, you won't regret it. And so I wanted to conclude this episode. Northwestern actually has a partnership. I was reading the Northwestern. I get the daily emails for the daily Northwestern newspaper. And so I saw this, I clicked on a link that Equinox Fitness, you've heard me talk about swanky Equinox Fitness, who has now a partnership with Northwestern University. And so they've got locations there in the Chicagoland area. And it was just so interesting that, Evanston Fitness Club, a lot of these, LA Fitness right there in downtown Evanston, they all market to Northwestern students. And it's just, particularly as far as Equinox is concerned, because it's a very high-end swanky, which is a really good fit for the Northwestern, generally speaking, the Northwestern student and alumni community. And so it says Equinox Fitness, Wild Card, see Northwestern Wildcats, so the student ID is called Wild Card, Advantage Partner. Luxury and fitness facility known for innovation and programming in group fitness and personal training, talent acquisition, and state-of-the-art new equipment. Offer includes $0 initiation fee, which is huge for Equinox, plus 2 discounted membership options to select from. Single club membership, $139 a month for access to 1 club location. Gold Coast, The Loop, which is downtown, Highland Park or Lincoln Park, or Chicago Access membership, $154 a month for access to all 4 Chicago area locations listed above. And so they've got the contact here, a dedicated regional account manager that you contact. So students, residents, student spouses, partners, faculty, staff, contractors and part-time and temp employees. They've got it all covered. Reach out to Maria and say, hey, I saw your ad on the Daily Northwestern, but that's just an example. The online shift. Otherwise, how would Equinox, because of their price point, can't afford to take out billboards, because $130, this is a discounted single membership, $139 a month, because you want to be as strategic in terms of your target marketing, in terms of what you offer and what you can offer and where you offer. That is so important, because having billboards all over Chicago advertising a $139 discount membership for Northwestern students, it would not work. You couldn't even do it just general Equinox billboards, because you'd be wasting a whole lot of money, because most people cannot afford that type of gym membership in terms of cost. So they have to be very strategic in terms of where they're offering their marketing activities and where they're channeling their marketing spend. So that's one example. They're advertising through the student newspaper. Come on over and get a membership. Evanston Athletic Club. they're all doing that. But this just further goes to show the shift towards online. Depending on who your target market is it high end, is it luxury, is it expensive, versus mass market type of general fitness facilities such as your Crunch Fitness that has billboards around town here. Planet Fitness definitely, but those are the lower price because they've got the $10 base membership at Planet, $9.95 base membership at Crunch Fitness, so that is certainly much more accessible to a whole lot of people, and Edge Fitness as well. But Edge has sales staff, so they're not spending a lot of money in marketing. They've got the sales staff in order to do that in club, so that's a whole different process. And so, folks, just like your LA Fitness has account managers as well as Lifetime, so they've got sales-oriented models versus marketing-oriented models. So, folks, I just wanted to share those marketing thoughts with you today. I know it was a lot of information. Glad I was able to get through it all, so I can put all of these papers in the recycle bin. Good old environmentalist Rachelle. I try to, I used to print all of this stuff out that you see me reading on my iPad. My earlier Posi-TIPS, I used to print all this stuff out and immediately just throw it in the trash. And I realized, what a waste of paper. So anyway, just, me, I'm trying to go paperless when humanly possible with these episodes. So folks, that's it. Just wanted to share that with you. Challenge your thinking as far as marketing is concerned. What have you done in the past? What have you done differently? What are your competitors doing? Just stay on top of things. Just stay on top of things. Don't be afraid to make tweaks and recognize if you've gone in a different direction. Don't be afraid to make a U-turn, come back, make some strategic changes, and you will see things turn around. And 2020 will become your best year yet. So that's all. I can't wait until next time. So until then, remember, I am positively passionate about your fitness, success, and marketing. Make it a great day.